One of our top stories this morning is the weather. Meteorologist Jeff Kitzmiller with the National Weather Service office in Missoula said a strong cold system arrived in western Montana over the weekend that may bring snow down to the valley floor as soon as tomorrow.
We see a pretty cold weather system, and by Tuesday morning, we actually do have snow in the forecast for the valleys. Pretty much any of the valleys of western Montana could see snow out of this. Down in the valleys, we're not really thinking it'll be much of an impact at this point. We'll see snow falling, so that'll be, the big shock and awe.
Kitzmiller said hunters and recreationists will be most affected by the snow and that the mountain passes will receive the highest amounts.
Most of the passes right along the Continental Divide, those will be the main focus for snow. And we're still trying to put the numbers together on snowfall on those, but accumulating snowfall on the roads starting late Monday and through Tuesday up on passes is looking pretty likely.
Kitzmiller said the cold front will probably last through midweek. The cooler weather will likely be here till mid-October. Wildfire forecasters say cool, damp weather brought relief to the northwestern U.S., northern Idaho, and western Montana after a trying summer, but the fall fire season's getting underway now in Southern California. The National Interagency Fire Center said yesterday the risk of big wildfires will be above average for Southern California all the way through December. The risk is also high in central and northeastern Montana, which is gripped by a severe drought. The center's monthly forecast calls for average risk of big wildfires over much of the nation through the end of the year, although parts of the Midwest and South could face elevated danger. More than 13,200 square miles have burned nationwide this year, putting 2017 on pace to be one of the worst in a decade. A Montana company owned by the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes was awarded a contract with the U.S. Air Force to supply fighter jets parts to Saudi Arabia. The Missoulian reports the U.S. Department of Defense announced the $559 million contract last week for SNK Aerospace, LLC, to provide F-15 components to the Royal Saudi Air Force. CEO Thomas Acevedo said the company plans to hire most of the workers for the contract in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, but there may be new hires in the Montana corporate office as well. The company's based in St. Ignatius on the Flathead Reservation, pays dividends back to the tribe each year. What is Montana State University's secret to 10 straight years of record enrollment? KGVO News reached out to MSU officials for a response. One strategy they said is called the Freshman 15. Spokesman Mike Becker said MSU does everything possible in the way of student retention, working to make sure students stay on campus for their full 4 years.
One of our biggest initiatives that we have going on for retention rates is called the Freshman 15. It's a play on words for, traditionally college students put on a little weight their freshman year, the Freshman 15, but we took that name and we repurposed it to a program that encourages students to take more credits per semester.
Also has a program to get students through school in 4 years called Forbear, and there's a link to the program on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. Becker also said the nature of the programs offered at MSU helped graduates to be immediately employable.
MSU has been tremendously fortunate to be the choice of so many Montana students and so many students from across the country, and we really do our best to make sure that while they're here, they get the skills that they need through tutoring, through advisorships, through internships, so that when they do go out into the career path, looking for their first jobs out of school, that they are ready and that they are highly employable.
The University of Montana, the flagship campus of the Montana University System, has been struggling with reduced enrollment for several years, but is making extra efforts to increase the number of students, including the hiring of enrollment specialist Dr. Tom Crady, whose innovations have helped to boost freshman enrollment in the fall semester, with more plans to build on that success. is also promoting the success of its School of Business Administration, the Franke Family Forestry and Global Leadership Initiative, as well as growth in its biomedical and pharmaceutical science programs. This past week, Missoula County Attorney Kirsten Pabst said her office filed 16 new felony complaints, including 6 violent crimes.
3, interestingly, involved violations of orders of protection. In one of those cases, the allegations were that the defendant made extremely violent threats towards the protected person in the order. In another, the suspect was allegedly located in the protected person's home.
According to Pabst, her office dealt with a number of violent crimes, too.
There was a partner family member assault case. There were 2 non-family related assaults. We had a felony DUI that involved a 40-minute high-speed chase There were a handful of property crimes, and then there was a criminal mischief that happened in the detention facility, and then to round things off, 3 methamphetamine cases.
PAP said one of the defendants allegedly tried to flush 15 grams of meth down a toilet. Last year, Montana students in 4th, 8th, and 10th grades were tested on their proficiency in science. Missoula County Public Schools Superintendent Mark Thane said students in the district outperformed the statewide average.
At grade 4 on the science criterion reference testing, 78% of the Missoula students tested as proficient or advanced, compared to 71% in the state of Montana. At 8th grade, 75% of Missoula students were proficient or advanced, and 66% of students statewide were proficient or advanced.
The scores plunged, though, for high school students. Only 53% of Missoula sophomores were proficient or advanced. That seems low for a test which is designed to make sure students have basic skills in the field. However, the statewide average was worse, with only 43% of students at or above proficiency. Thane says part of that low grade in Missoula is to be expected.
I will attach one caveat to the high school. The area where we performed less well at high school largely is the physical science area. And that makes a lot of sense to us because we don't teach physics until kids hit the junior level in high school. We do earth and space science as freshmen, and then we do biology as sophomores.
The testing did highlight a major gap between Native American students in Missoula schools and their peers. While there was almost no difference in 4th grade, Thane said by 8th and 10th grade, the average score for Native American students was 18 points below the Missoula average. Our news talk time now is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station. Rain likely today with our high temperatures in the mid-40s. Winds will be out of the northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, rain changes over to snow. We'll see a slushy dusting to as much as half an inch overnight. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.